Celebrating Charlie, a special edition of Sunday Morning. Here is Lee Cowan.
Half a world away from the studio in New York is Charles Osgood's other world. It's his home away from home. And what a home it is. When Charles Osgood invited us to his picture postcard home in the south of France, the one with the sun made of stone in the driveway and the stunning Mediterranean views, it was both a generous and intimidating offer. After all, how do you sit across from your boss, let alone the newsman you grew up watching, and ask him about a career that's lasted as long as you've been alive? Do you remember the first piece you did for television?
No.
Truth is, he made the conversation easy, like he does with all conversations, even when he was correcting me on the art of writing. There's a big difference between the right word and the wrong word.
Well, all the words are wrong except for the right one.
His style, his manner, his curiosity are as fresh as the grapes hanging in his garden.
These are descended from grapes that were here for 100 years.
Were they really?
But they're good to eat.
Yeah? Do you eat them a lot?
Just passing through.
But little has satisfied his professional palate more than his Emmy-winning run at Sunday Morning.
A lot of television is about ratings, but I don't like to think of it as ratings. I like to think of it as people watching the show and getting some satisfaction out of it and learning something and not having something, forced down their throats.
You love it, don't you?
I do. I cannot think of anything that has given me more pleasure professionally than Sunday Morning, because first of all, it feels great to be part of something that people love, and I know that they do.
He loved it so much, he rarely took time off. But when he did, he came here. And why wouldn't he? It's a place where leisure is cherished, not something you squeeze into 2 weeks around national holidays.
It's very seductive here. It also encourages you to be a bit lazy.
In a good way.
You tend to get up late and eat too much and drink too much.
Jean, Charlie's wife, is his ever-present companion.
You almost can't just put your
You
mouth
almost
around
need
it.
to eat it with a fork, darling. Oops, there it goes.
There it goes, okay.
Do you have a routine here?
There are a couple of naps involved. There's one nap usually after lunch, and that lasts right up until cocktail time. So the day sort of slips away.
There is, of course, the piano. His concert grand piano that occupies his time and most of the living room. And not a bad view from the piano bench to look out onto the Mediterranean.
Yes, that's right. And there are French songs that are written about this very view. But one French song is La mer, qu'on doit voir.
He bought that Steinway from CBS, back when it owned Columbia Records, and it's a historic piano indeed.
La mer. This is the piano that Glenn Gould used for his first recording of the Goldberg Variations.
Wow.
It was used for Frank Sinatra songs. Mitch Miller also used it for every one of his Sing Along with Mitch records.
This piano.
This is the one.
Outdoors, flowers bloom at every corner, surrounding his pool, with a fragrance and a color that are pretty hard to beat. It's here Charlie and Jean work off the calories from the brie and the baguettes. They do it together, like they've done everything. Do you remember your first date?
I do.
Yeah?
But that depends on what you call a date. Because the first time you ever asked me to go someplace, you wanted me to go to a basketball game.
That's what you asked her out to first?
Yes, wasn't that romantic of me?
And I
Did you say yes?
No, I said something.
I think she had to arrange her sock drawer.
He must have done something right. They've been married now for 42 years. They have 5 kids and 3 grandchildren. Was there one piece of advice that your dad gave you guys that has really stuck with you?
eat more ice cream.
It's hard even for Charlie to get the whole family together, but we managed to gather 3 of the kids,
He's a warm and friendly.
Jamie,
and kind.
Definitely
Annie,
warm.
and Winston, in his New York apartment.
That persona that he is on television encapsulates him pretty well.
They loved growing up with their dad's passion for baseball, his knowledge of history, and their home being full of music.
He's always playing the piano. I mean, he
Always?
Oh, always.
It's
I mean,
always
if
in the
there's
background.
yeah, there's always
A soundtrack.
Right. Dad was always playing the piano or the banjo.
What was that like? Like you'd bring friends over and your dad would
Oh,
just
it's
be...
totally embarrassing. Your dad is sitting around in his robe playing the banjo. It's definitely not cool when you're when you're 12 or 13.
And then he would start singing, and that
And
was
then-
just too much.
Right.
What was cool? Their dad's skills in the kitchen.
We had our own Sunday morning routine where our dad would make us pancakes for breakfast. And so that went away when Sunday morning started. And frankly, I'm relieved that this chapter of his life is over so that we can kind of bring that routine back into our lives.
Get back pancakes again?
Have not had a decent pancake in 22 years.
It's not that their dad's work is done, however.
Charlie, we're ready here.
Okay, good.
In fact, Charlie is not really retiring.
The Osgood File. This is Charles Osgood.
He'll still be on the radio, mostly from New York.
The Osgood File. This is Charles Osgood. The Department
But
of Veterans
also
Affairs
when
tells
he's
us that
here
up to
in
20%
France. He built a
of
makeshift
American
studio
war veterans
down in his basement.
Suffer from post-traumatic
The reality, though, his life will be different after today, in all sorts of yet-to-be-determined ways.
So what's it going to be like for you, Gene, to hear Charlie say "see ya" on the radio for the last time?
Well, that's all right because it means he'll be here more, won't it?
Not a bad place to turn a page.
What's the one thing you'd want people to know about the next chapter in your life?
I don't even know myself what the next chapter in my life is going to be, but I will have a little more time, without a doubt, to be with Gene and with the kids and the grandkids and the friends that you have. And it's like asking somebody when they're dying whether you're ready for this. No, no, I want there to be a tomorrow, and there will be.
Just different tomorrows.
That's right.